2008, and now I'm back again, and I believe last week I was elected the school board president for the Fort Worth ISD. But the first Latina, but my heart is still District 1. I live right around the corner from here, so District 1 is always going to be very important to me. And I just want to introduce a couple of people. We have Gloria Carrillo, the Grand Prairie ISD, the school board. Good morning. And I have the Honorable Kathleen Hicks, former Mayor Pro Tem of City of Fort Worth, and my BFF. And then I have Mrs. Amanda Don Ine, who is a Fort Worth ISD Elementary School Teacher of the Year from Rufino Mendoza, which is also around the corner. And I'll call her up later to speak with me, and we'll just talk about the good things going on in the Fort Worth ISD. But as school board president, as a trustee, my priority has always been student achievement, giving the students the best opportunity we can to have them achieve. And I contribute my success. I'm a podiatrist by trade, by the excellent teachers and the excellent education I received at Dunbar High School at Fort Worth ISD, and then I received a full scholarship to Prairie University, and then I went on to podiatry school in New York City. And now I moved back home, and I still live in the house I was raised, but now I'm taking care of my mother, my 92-year-old mother. So, and she instilled in us the importance of education. Neither of my parents were able to graduate high school because they had to go to work. My dad, he didn't get out of elementary school. And then my mother was actually getting a GED while I was in high school. So I could see the determination in her and the importance of education that she instilled in her 6 kids. But I was the only one to go off to college, I guess because I was the youngest, and I got a little spoiled. But anyway, so with Fort Worth, we're doing very good things. We hired a new superintendent, Dr. Angelica Ramsey, last September, and she went on a listening tour for the entire school district, and she spoke to many people. I don't know if any of y'all went, but she spoke with teachers, students, business people, support staff in the schools, and she just wanted to see what the Fort Worth ISD was doing well, what we weren't doing, our weaknesses, the opportunities we had, and what else we could do better to help serve our kids. And it was very honest. She just sat and listened and wrote down, and it was important to know what we're doing well. And it was also very important to know that we were missing the boat on a lot of things. Some of the positives are wraparound services. We provide mental health, some medical attention, food pantries. We have one at Elder and at Kirkpatrick Middle, and there's several across the district that serves the entire community. We have after-school programs before school. We have tutoring, and all this is free to our students to make their academic success. And Dr. Ramsey has told us, when she came in on her interview, she goes, we need to meet the students where they are. Not where we want them to be, not where we think they should be, but where they are, because they are the students and we need to address whatever needs they have. If they're gifted and talented, we'll give them extra work. If English is not the first language, we'll help them with that. If they're just having trouble with clothing or anything, we'll supply the services to get our students to do what they need so they can achieve. And that's what we're doing. We're undergoing a reorganization process, and she brought in a lot of talented individuals that are focused on our students' achievement. So that's that, and I'll have Ms. Ine talk about that a little. We're having a deficit budget at this point, but the previous administration had a deficit budget for 7 years, so it's taken a little while to get it, and hopefully next year we will have a budget that's that's on target, but the state legislature needs to help give us some funding. With COVID, there's teacher shortages, there's shortages about everywhere. You see hiring signs everywhere, so, and it's a real competition with our teachers and with our principals and everybody, because all the other surrounding school districts want to recruit our teachers. So this year we're giving us a 3% raise. Last year, to support staff, we gave a 6% raise, and then the teachers, we gave a 3% raise. So we're very competitive, and we're in the top 5 in most categories in our teaching and administration. And the other thing, we're in the process of a $1.2 billion bond, and we're going to get some new schools, and this bond is addressing middle schools. But again, with COVID, I hate to make that as an excuse, but there's a supply chain process, and then there's shortages, and there's also employees to do the construction. So we're trying to, we will get finished on time and on budget. So those are the 3 main things that we're dealing with now. And the STAR test has changed once again, and now is the first year it's completely on computer, so that was an adjustment. We don't know what the scores are going to be or what the TEA, the Texas Education Agency, is wanting. So in August or September, we'll find out where we are. If the scores are good, great, we're going to continue to improve. If they're not so good, we're going to do everything we can to continue to improve those scores. And that's my vow to you right now as a school board president. We're going to do everything we can to supply our students with what they need, and the teachers with professional development to teach our students to make sure they want to come to school and they understand the importance of a quality education. So I'll bring up Miss Ine if she has anything else to add, or because she's a 5th grade teacher at Rufino Mendoza, and she's right there in the trenches, and we're trying to keep them happy to make sure they want to stay forward.
Hi everybody, I'm Amanda Ine. I just wanted to kind of let you know a little bit about me. So this will be my 17th year coming up teaching in education. I was living in Eagle Mountain, Saginaw, but we sold our home just this past month, and I actually purchased a house here on the north side. Woo! Yes. so that I can live here among the beautiful community that I serve, that I'm very blessed to serve. My husband and my family and I have fallen in love with the Latino community here on the north side, and we just want to be here with them all the time, helping both in education and outside of education, advocating for them and helping them reach their goals and aspirations as a community. So some awesome things that Fort Worth is doing. Dr. Rodriguez explained that we have new curriculum. Briefly in Fort Worth ISD, this curriculum is some of the best curriculum that I've ever seen in my 17 years of education. Just this year alone in implementation, my students grew leaps and bounds. So she mentioned that I taught 5th grade. When I first got my students, they were reading on a 2nd to a 4th grade reading level. They left me on a 4th through 6th grade reading level, so we made 2-year gains in 1 year. So that's wonderful. And I'm very thankful also for Dr. Ramsey. I would be amiss if I didn't mention her. I've had several opportunities to speak with her one-on-one, and number one, I'm very grateful that she is a Latina, because our population in Fort Worth ISD, we have a huge, large Latino population, and if you don't know much about people, you can't serve them. So I'm excited that she's a Latina, that she's a leader, that she truly cares about kids. Contrary to what some of the public people would like you to believe, she's not here to make gains, I don't feel like. She actually lives in our community, which I think is beautiful, because of someone that can make a salary like hers, she could live anywhere in Fort Worth, but she chose to live here on the north side, so that she can live among the people that we serve, and I think that's very beautiful. And so I'm excited about her vision, about kids being the center of attention. I'm excited about the new changes that she's bringing as far as supporting teachers. She's the first superintendent of the many districts that I've taught in that actually met with teachers one-on-one, which is a beautiful thing. She actually asked us our concerns, our visions, our dreams. And so I'm just really excited. We have made great gains this year. If you watch the school board meeting as far as kids' reading levels, I can only see that going up from here. And so I'm just excited to have, like I said, Dr. Ramsey as a leader, Dr. Rodriguez serving as our president, and I just see amazing things for Fort Worth ISD. And I would really want my message today to be, I really want to work with the public to get their trust back into our school systems because we're doing amazing things and we just want the best for our future, which is our kids.
Yeah, I agree completely. And then speak to your state representative because we need the funding for our schools. I understand property taxes, but the way the state's funded our education system, that's where we get the bulk of our money. So, I mean, something has to give. So we need to talk with them, and then they have a $37 billion surplus, and they need to decide a bulk of that needs to go to public education. And I know the governor wants vouchers, which is not good for public education. And we have all the accountability systems of the public schools, and we teach anybody who walks through the door. We don't ask any questions, but everybody gets an education when they walk through our doors. Charter schools can pick and choose who they want to teach or who they want in their school. Public schools accepts every individual when they come through that door. And also some good things we have going on in the school district. We have STEM programs, which is science and math. We have CTE, which is engineering, technology, computers, and then we have wonderful extracurricular activities. Northside is doing very well, and at athletics, the girls won district for the first time in softball. I think the boys made the playoffs. It's just Northside. I think every girl athletic team at Northside made the playoffs this year. So I mean, we have some wonderful athletes in this school district, and our music, our choral, our arts are great. Our mariachis are always stellar from Northside, and they went to state again this year. And then we had several teams go to the National Music Teachers Association in San Antonio. We had theater arts, we had the mariachis, we had orchestra. So, I mean, we have some very talented students to surround them where it's just not education. Whatever they choose, if it's athletics, if it's choral, if it's drama, I mean, orchestra, we have all the teachers and we have the base to do this for our students so they can have, it's not just because they go to suburban areas, they have access to all these programs. We have them, we have them here in Fort Worth. So, and I think that's when I was running last year and Kathleen helped with the campaign, we went and there was so much negativity of the Fort Worth ISD, and then once I was elected, there were so many good things going on, and we have recognitions for our students and teachers at every board meeting, and we run out of time because there's so many good things going on. But we have a robotics team that won nationals. We have our culinary team from Tech went to nationals and won several silver and gold medals. So I mean, everything that you want to do as an individual, be it college, career, military, we have the basis here for you at Fort Worth ISD.
Yes, and I would like to touch on what Dr. Rodriguez shared about suburbia. So my sons, I have 3 sons. One will be in high school, one is in middle school, and one is in elementary with me. Our experience in Fort Worth ISD has been way more positive than our experience in Eagle Mountain and in Northwest. And what Dr. Camille is sharing with you is so true because I have sons in JCC. Both of my older boys are in athletics. My younger son has had many, many opportunities in elementary to learn and grow as a student. So we have so much to offer in the city. It's a huge misconception that we have, unfortunately, due to misleading information, that suburbia is better. It's not better. That I just left there for a reason. My son's experienced a high level of racism there, a high level of being disregarded, put to the side, and that doesn't happen here in Fort Worth IC. Everybody is embraced, no matter where you come from, what your color of your skin is. So we have a lot of great things to offer here in Fort Worth IC. And I just wanted to let you know that my own sons are here and they are all three thriving this year and doing phenomenal. And I'm very proud of our district.
Given the understanding regarding the misinformation, misconception, my daughter, for example, she wanted to be a teacher. But because of the information that was out there, the attacks that were ongoing to teachers, and I guess what appeared to be a lack of support for some teachers, at least the media. What steps or what are you doing in order to combat that? In order to get people to become teachers? Because, like I said, she wanted to be a teacher, but then she decided not to be. After that, there would be linguistics. She wanted to be a special ed.
Well,
yeah,
there's a special ed shortage, so
yes,
if
exactly.
she wants to be a special ed teacher, she can write her own ticket. Everybody is hiring special ed.
She is very much aware of that, but because of the perception or the media focus on the attacks on teachers.
The negativity, and that's what we're trying to change. And with Dr. Ramsey coming in and her reorganization, we are focusing on the students and giving the teachers the support they need with professional development, supplies, whatever they need. And Dr. Ramsey has a teacher advisory, so you can get in her ear once a month and let her know what you need.
That's going to be, I think that's something that you probably have to apply to universities or schools, because again, because of that negativity, she decided to go out when
Yes.
she could have used her skills and her knowledge to help.
Well, she may still find her way in the classroom. I didn't land myself there immediately like I was supposed to. But it's a calling to teach. And that's a lot of perception that we have to change too, not just the negativity of media, but we also have to change the perception of teachers as well. Because I view it as a calling to get up every morning and teach. Now, do I like my paycheck? Yes, just like everybody else. But my sole purpose every morning is I wake up and I make sure that I give everything I can to my kids. And I'm not talking about my 3 boys at home, yes them, but I'm talking about my students. And we have to change the perception for not just the public, but also for teachers. And yes, we are fighting a huge beast right now of media. But we've always fought that beast, you know that. I mean, especially as a Latina community, you know that. Media, unfortunately, has a lot of power in our society. But we are fighting that. And I believe, like what Dr. Camille said, with Dr. Ramsey coming and restructuring, we are going to be able to be more supportive to teachers, because her focus is, yes, students first, but also equipping teachers. And that's something that I can say that we lacked in Fort Worth. Because I taught for Fort Worth before, and I didn't mention that, but I taught from 2016 to 2019 in Stock 6. And I'm coming back to Fort Worth for a reason, because I believe in what's happening here, and I believe in the positivity that is starting, and I know that there's more positive changes and growth down the road. So yes, we are going to keep fighting that and keep applying to universities and keep trying to make connections to get the best teachers here, because that's what we want. That's what we want for our kids.
Let me pivot a little bit. Since we're a small income group today and education is so important, I'm going to ask Gloria Arillo to come up. She, as Dr. Rodriguez introduced her earlier, she served on Grand Prairie's school board for 3 years, just got elected, or 6 years, 2 3-year terms, and just got elected to a third 3-year term. She's a great individual. She's been the president of the board for the last 2 years. So I think what we'll do is turn this into like an education panel, and y'all can ask the questions you need to, and I'll throw kind of like some grenades up so they can ask questions that we all want to hear about what is really going on in the schools. But to your own point about the need for more teachers, especially that look like us, we really need them. There's an event July 27th, and it's at 1050 Bridge, Wood Street. Y'all remember that old Kroger's out there on the east side? Some of y'all may have never gone out there, but it's out there, and they converted it to a teacher learning center. And they're like from 1 to 5 on July the 27th, they're going to have an event there. And Raul Pena, who is the Chief Talent Officer for 4th ISD, the whole reason for that 1 to 5 deal is to hire teachers. And the starting salary, or the minimum teacher salary nowadays is $62,000 because of Camille and some other board members. And there's bonuses on top of that, but I'm assuming you've got to have a degree to do that.
You have to have a bachelor's degree. You do not have to have a teacher certification because there's alternate pathways for that, and you'll have 2 years to get into alternate pathway. But you'll get a stipend for bilingual education. You get a stipend for yearbook. You get a stipend for sign language. You get a stipend for your coach. There's additional money, but the first year teacher coming out of college makes $62,000 a year. So I think that's a pretty good salary. And now, with Dr. Pena and his chief talent officer position, we are now giving credit to plumbers who are out in the private sector, so they get years experience for that. Nurses who are at the hospital or in private practice with physicians, they get credit for years of service for that. So we're very competitive across the board, everybody that serves our children.
That's another thing. You don't have to have a degree in education to be a teacher. Like she's saying, folks that you know that have experience in life skills, be it plumbing or automobile or whatever, you can have a shot at being a teacher there at that school. So it's important that I'll announce this again, but again, it's July the 27th from 1 to 5 o'clock. You need to get the word out to anybody that's looking for a job, to go there. There's other opportunities to get degrees that are online. If folks like me had to work their way through college, and I would work a semester, save my money, go to college a semester, run out of money, go back to work, and I did that, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So there's ways to do it that are cheaper and quicker to do it from schools like A&M Commerce, that you can do it and never set foot in a class, but have professors and everybody. So Tarleton, so there's opportunities. We just got to get the people to the school district, to this 1050 Bridgewood, the Teacher Learning Center, to learn more about these. So my pivot is going to be, since we have all this talent here on education, these are folks that are right in the front line of teaching these kids. And they're making, like 2 years ago, 26%. We're probably going to get up to over 40% in September. The test results come out. So they're grinding it out. They're in the front line. They're working every day to help kids that are going to take care of us someday. So what I'm going to do is ask Glory to come up. And if you don't mind, y'all want to stand, but I can pull the 3 chairs up. Domingo and I can ask questions. Y'all can ask questions. And then if you want to talk, you can stand up and address it. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Is that fine with you, Gordon? We'll do this, and I'll get out of your way. And Domingo, do you have anything you want to say?
Hello, everybody. Buenos dias. I apologize, I was running a little late. I had some business issues, a business emergency I had to take care of. But we're going to change the format a little bit because it's a little bit more cozy in summer. and education is an issue because people are going back to school in August. Gloria Carrillo is actually the president of the school board, right?
I was president for the last 2 years, and I just May.
Right, she's the president of the Grand Prairie School Board. So as you know, the demographics are turning and changing here in Texas. You know, for the first time, Latinos are the majority since 1850 in Texas. And in the school districts, that's already been the reality for the last 10 years. So these are the people that are on the front line dealing with those issues and dealing with what we need to deal in terms of how we get and move forward. Like, I'm the first one in my family to graduate from high school. And I'm the oldest of 7, and I have 19 aunts and uncles. None of them graduated. Because that's the way the system was set up. So the reason I was able to succeed was because of the education. And all my schools were public. So that's what most of our community needs to rely on. So I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, who did you want to ask?
Does anybody have a question about education that they want to ask right now? Go ahead.
Thank you for being here. Congratulations, Dr. Rodriguez, for being the first Latina school board president for California. As someone that advocates for representation, especially Latino representation in our schools, that's very significant and important. And my question, my concern is, I wish Dr. Peña would have shown up, and I'll send him an email later, because it was actually in regards to his area. The recruitment of Latinos in our community. We have for many years, I've advocated and shouted and everything, raised concerns about the lack of Latino representation in our schools, especially in our east side schools, where the majority is Latino. But we only have a handful of people that look like us to represent our students in the schools. So that is my concern. I have family members in all the districts in East Side, District 1 as well. But my concern is how do we have a group of parents in District 4 that have issues with their certain school? How is that going to change? What is going to happen? How are we going to raise that bar where the ODY pyramid, ODY itself has 55% Latinos and no leadership